This project was an easy project. Bodywork on the fender, bodywork on the quarter panel. It's been primed, sanded down, ready for paint. I'm gonna blend a little bit past the dough. I go from the bottom of the truck all the way up to make sure I get enough coverage. And I just lightly blend out on the sides to where I ain't putting too much paint outside of it. It's gonna be just enough. I got the heater on, and that's gonna help the base dry quicker. In small little cracks and areas like that, you gotta turn the pressure down on your gun, turn the fluid down a little bit, so it don't spray too much out. You ain't gonna have no problem with runs or none of that. You almost want to have the fan pointing straight. It ain't gonna look like a fan. It'll look like the liquid just coming straight out. And you just want to dust it and get those cracks. So that's the first coat of base on this truck. And now I gotta do the fender. So the fender, I'm gonna blend a little bit in that passenger door, front passenger door, so the color could match. I don't want it to be like a butt match, like the fender a different color than the door. So I blend it into both of them. And you gotta make sure you tint those colors before you actually start painting. You mix it, add your reducer, get you a Q-tip, dip in the paint and dab a little bit somewhere on the unsanded surface of the truck. And if it's the same color or a little lighter, you'll be able to know. Or I just did a blend. I don't think I got a video of me doing a second coat of base. But I'm finna jump into the clear next. Yeah, further down in the video, you'll see that I came back and put another coat on there. And that's just to make sure the primer spots is not showing. The primer is tricky sometimes in the paint booth. That's why I always start from the bottom and go up. Because the bottom must be the spot that's lighter. That's my problem at first. And all the top where you can see eye level when you're standing, it look good. But at the bottom of the door, you can tell that it's not covered up all the way. Like you can see the primer through it. So this is the second coat right here. And that's all I needed. That's all I needed. I'm gonna go back up there to the front and hit that fender one more time. Excuse my pants. I'm gonna wear a belt next time. You see, you wanna lay down a metallic paint wet. You don't wanna lay down a metallic paint dry, because it'll start sticking up and poking out, and you'll be able to see where you painted it at. If you paint it on that wet, you give the metallics time to flow first before it dries. If you just put it on there like dry, it ain't gonna have enough time to flow out. It's just gonna look blotchy or something. And now, see how I got the pressure down? Like the whole time while I'm in the paint booth, I'm turning the gun up and down for different areas of the truck. Like especially for cracks. If you trying to get it like in a tight spot, your gun the gun ain't gonna be there. So you gotta turn the pressure down a little bit. And that's the only way you could. And right after you do that, you gotta come over it with it wet. So on the outsides, it ain't gonna seem like you just dry sand. You just try doing it right there. The next video, I'm gonna show y'all how to do it from the start to finish. Start to finish. Like I said, man, please excuse my pains. I'm gonna wear a belt next time. But now, all that covered up real good. I'm finna show y'all. And I'm just come in here and clear it now. Like I said, I start from the bottom and go all the way up. I'm gonna get all this on the back. And the clear, you want your add 30 psi. And you want your gun front, you want your needle like halfway. You turn it, you tighten it all the way up, and then you turn it loose 3 times, and that'll be halfway. So it'll be just enough clear you putting on the truck, not too much. And, at this time, the diesel heater ran out, so it was warm, but I gotta spray it a little different because the heater wasn't on, helping me out. I'm just lightly going across it back and forth to make sure it's wet too. If the lights in the booth will trick you, it'll make you think that it's all wet, and then when you put it outside, you'll see some dry spots. And if you're using a cheap clear or anything like that, like some shop line clear or some Finish One or something like that, it dies back. So you're gonna have to put 3 coats of that, 4 coats of that. If you get some expensive clear, you can get away with 1 coat because it's so thick. But you never want to, let me not give y'all that type of advice. Let me tell you, when you're doing that, you need to put as many coats as you need to make sure it looks right. If it look a little funny, don't move on. Make sure you can see it. If you just got base on it, put it outside in the sun to see if you got any spots that you miss or anything, because the booth lights can really trick you. You really need to add a little bit more light up in there. It's bright, but it's not bright enough, so it's tricky. And I think this truck, I actually had a run in the door that I fixed, and I got another video on that on how to fix a run. You'll get you some tape while it's still wet, and you'll just hit it with the tape and then hit it with a little bit more, dust a little bit more clear right there. It gotta be wet though. You can't do it when it's almost drying and being sticky, because you'll put the tape on there and then the tape will leave bubble marks in there. You can't buff it out. You can't buff them. It'll leave like fish eyes. That's just 1 coat of clear. Some people paint it dry on the first coat, and some people paint them wet on the first coat. I like to do it semi-wet on the first coat. I really need to see how it's gonna look. I need to see how it's gonna look after I just sprayed the base and all that. If you spray it a little dry, it kind of hides stuff too, because you're gonna be looking at the clear over looking at the base that you laid down. But as you can see, I blended the quarter panel into the back door and the front passenger door to the front fender. Do not butt paint. Blend. And if y'all look at my last video, you will see I basically was telling y'all step by step. So if you follow them steps, you'll be an expert. See, it's still warm in there, so I came back with another coat on the quarter panel just to ice it down. you don't want to put too much because it'll run. And you see how I'm going past the tape to make sure I get everything. That's what you got to do. Almost paint the plastic. Paint past what you painting. Excuse my pants. I'm gonna wear a belt next time. Now this is the finished product. Now the run in there is glass. See this? This is what you want. If it don't look like that, you gotta redo it.